Hello to Miss Hastings and Year 9 at Thriftwood College. Good morning. My name is Alistair Humphreys. I'm an adventurer and an author. I've written The Boy Bite the World and The Girl Who Rode the Ocean, among others. Thank you so much for reading my book, and thank you for sending some fantastic questions from Kestrel class. Here we go. Amy asks, where and how did I wash my clothes? To be honest, Amy, I was pretty smelly. So I did quite a lot of not washing and just being really smelly. I went for a month in China without washing. Sometimes in hot places I'd jump into rivers or lakes just wearing all my clothes, and that kind of counted as having a swim, having a shower and doing the laundry all at once. Turkmenistan was so hot that they had these irrigation channels, so for water running in channels by the road that was for watering the crops, and I'd jump into those in all my clothes and then get back on the bike, and I'd soon dry because it was so hot. And then every few weeks I would get to a town or a city and I'd visit schools and give talks, and generally one of the kind teachers there would wash my clothes because I was very smelly. George, how long have you been playing your violin now, and what do you take on your trip? So this is a question about when I played my violin very badly walking through Spain, and I made a little film about that, by the way. It's called My Midsummer Morning, if you want to watch that on YouTube. I did 7 months of practice, which really wasn't enough. I was very bad. 7 months, and then I set off to walk through Spain. What did I take on the trip? On that trip through Spain was really lightweight. It was just, because it was Spain, it was summer, it was warm, so all I had was just the clothes to walk in, and then one thin jacket, no spare clothes. I had a sleeping bag and a sleeping mat. I didn't have a tent, I just had a tarpaulin to go over me on the off chance it rained. I didn't really need it, but I took it anyway because it was tiny. I didn't take a cooker or a stove because I didn't think I'd be able to afford fuel for the stove, so I just cooked on fires. So I had a little pan and a spoon. And I had my violin, and that's about it. It was very lightweight, it was lovely, it was so nice to travel lightly. Tom says, what countries have you been to, and what was your longest trip? Well, I've been to about 90 countries. I'm not going to list them all. My longest, but hear about this then, this might answer some of it. My longest trip was cycling around the world, which went from England to South Africa, the bottom of South America to Alaska, and then from Siberia in Russia back to England. So that covered quite a lot of countries. Reese says, what was the worst food you ate on your journeys? Well, Reese, you have to remember that what we think of as gross, weird food from some other country, they think of as totally normal. I imagine if some people from other countries came and saw, for example, what we put into our cheap burgers, or the ways our chickens are looked after before they go to a fried chicken shop, they might think that was disgusting. So remember that it's just different opinions of it. However, how about boiled mice on a stick, fly burgers, barbecued guinea pig? Actually, that was delicious. Or in the Philippines, you get an egg that's nearly hatching into a chicken. So there's a tiny baby, sort of gross-looking chicken inside, but it's not ready yet. And you cook it, and you open up the egg, and you eat the whole baby chicken, feathers, bones, and all. Baloo. I actually couldn't actually eat that. It was too gross. Billy, has anyone recognised you yet? Ooh. Not normally, which I really like, because I would not want to be recognised a lot. But if I go to some mountain communities, places like, let's say, Kendal in the Lake District, or Aviemore in Scotland, places where there's lots of outdoorsy people, I sometimes get recognised. And it's lovely, but also really embarrassing. Did I make friends on my journeys? I made loads of friends on my journeys. That's one of the best bits of doing travel, but the sad bit is that you don't see them afterwards. So it's brief friends and then go. Chloe, how do I cope with the heat? Well, in Spain, I would just get up at dawn, walk until it got really hot, about 11 a.m, and then I'd hide under somewhere in the shade, under a bridge, under a tree, and I'd rest for several hours out of the heat. I don't like really hot places. Favourite landmark? Oh, gosh. The pyramids are cool. Great Wall of China. I'm going to choose the Great Wall of China because it's a landmark, but I cycled roughly alongside it for weeks and weeks and weeks. It's enormous. So that was fantastic to follow the length of that. Jessica, my favourite place. I like so many different places. I really do. You know, this morning I was just writing something, and I was writing about Alaska, and I really loved Alaska. Just mountains, beautiful rivers, really interesting people. I like the sort of people who choose to live in these wild places. Yeah. Today's answer is Alaska. Archie, what happened if I was poorly? Being poorly when you're on your own is horrible. You feel very sorry for yourself and you want someone to look after you and give you a biscuit, and it's horrible. I didn't get sick very often because I was in fresh air a lot. I wasn't, for example, in a classroom full of children coughing and spluttering. Means why schools would get loads of illnesses. So I was out in the fresh air a lot, on my own a lot, so I didn't get ill very often. But when I did, I'd just have to rest in my tent till I got better, and it felt horrible. Taylor, when did you start travelling? Well, my first adventure was when I was 9, I think. I did a 3 Peaks of Yorkshire mountain challenge. And then when I left school when I was 18, before I went to university, I went and worked in a little village school in Africa for a year. That was an amazing experience. I absolutely loved that. And that really got me wanting to see more of the world. Joshua, did you see the old man who gave you €1 for playing your violin again? Aha, so you've seen my film. I'm sorry about the bit in the cabbage patch field when I was having a shower in the cabbage patch field with no clothes on. Did I see the old man again? No, never again. I didn't see him again. I don't know his name. He had such an impact on me. That small act of kindness that he gave me that money. I was very near to quitting. You saw how bad I was. No one was giving me any money. There was no way I could get any food unless I got money. I was so afraid. I thought the whole trip was going to fail. I was in this country where nobody knew me. I was a stranger. I was a sort of immigrant in that country. No one was kind to me. And then this man did this one small thing and he walked away. I bet you he never thinks about me ever again. But he made that trip possible. He only gave me €1, but it meant so much to me. It was so kind. So, be kind to people who need help. Do small little acts of kindness that will mean a lot to them. Because I'd love to see him and say thank you. I'd really love to show him the film. I'd really like that. Lily, do you ride your bike every day? I don't ride my bike every day, but I'll tell you this. The days I ride my bike are happier than the days that I don't ride my bike. Caden, did you get any injuries and did your bike break down? Did I get any injuries? Did my bike get any injuries? My bike got lots of injuries. Lots of punctures, flat tyres, broken spokes, broken wheels, broken racks that hold the bags, broken frame. Yeah, poor old bike got lots of injuries. Did I get any injuries? Not really on cycling. Cycling's very low impact. It's good, it's relaxing, it's gentle on your body. You get very fit, but I didn't get many injuries. And Archie says, what kind of bike did I have? It was a very simple, strong, steel mountain bike. And it had to be that because I didn't want to have lots of breakdowns. And if I did have breakdowns, I wanted to be able to fix it in whatever country I was in. I wanted to be able to fix it in countries that didn't have fancy bike shops. So, for example, my bike snapped in Sudan, in the desert. There's no way you could fix a fancy, expensive bike there, but my bike was steel, so you could fix it with just any old welding torch. You know that when you get that really hot thing, fire, melts metal, stick the metal together. So I could find a nice man to do that for me in Sudan, which I wouldn't be able to do with a fancier bike. Yeah, strong and simple, like me. Thank you so much for all your fantastic questions. Thank you for reading my book. I really appreciate it. And most of all, good luck with all of your own adventures. Get out and explore where you live. Go and find somewhere 10 minutes from your home that you've never been to. Go there and you're being an explorer. Good luck.